So here's a name you might not know, and I'm going to tell you why it matters. Republican Clayton Fuller won the special House election runoff to replace Marjorie Taylor Greene in Georgia tonight, and he won by about 12 percentage points. That sounds like a lot? Well, this is a deep red district that Greene had won by 29 points. And President Trump, he carried it by 37 points in 2024. 37 points down to 12 points. Now, Democratic candidate Sean Harris made his opposition to Iran war his central message in the final days of the campaign, while Clayton Fuller is a supporter of President Trump and has said that this war is keeping Americans safe. With us for more, former Democratic Senator Jon Tester of Montana, and lucky us, he is now an MS Now political analyst. Senator, I'm so glad you're here. Help us understand, you know this politics. What is your reaction to those results tonight? What could it mean for the midterms?
Well, it could be good signs for the midterms for Democrats, but I will tell you it's a direct response to failed policies from the administration and a rubber stamping by both houses of Congress. And, you know, I don't care if you want to talk about the tariffs or you want to talk about trying to reduce the cost that families and small businesses and family farm and ranch agriculture have. If you want to talk about the war in Iran, you want to talk about what gas prices and diesel prices and fertilizer prices have done in the last 5 weeks. Look, every one of these policies works against the middle class, works against folks who are trying to make a living and doing it in an honest way. And I think if you take a look at that 15, 16, 17-point reduction, I would be very worried if I was on the Republican side of the aisle looking at these policies. And what can be done about it? Well, the president could start changing the policies. I don't think you or I think that's going to happen. But Congress really does need to step up and be the Article I group that the Constitution says it is and hold the executive branch in check. And they simply haven't done it for a year and a half now. And I think the American people are getting sick and tired of it.
Well, you served in Congress for a very long time with a lot of Republicans who have not pushed back at all on the president when it comes to the war in Iran, when it comes to the cost of health care, gas, groceries, take your pick. Have you heard from any of them recently privately? I mean, many of these Republicans that you served with are friends of yours. I want to understand what they're saying behind the scenes. Well,
I can tell you, not a lot of them have come up to me and said, you know, this administration has really hurt us. But I will tell you one story that is pretty instructive. Farmer, 50 years old, been farming for a couple decades now, working to be able to turn the farm over to the kids, said, you know, I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I didn't like Joe Biden. But I'm going to tell you, I would have never lost my farm under Joe Biden, and I'm probably going to lose the farm under Trump. And it's because of the tariffs. It's because of the increased prices of energy. And, you know, it isn't about disease or insects or drought or any of those things that farmers have to deal with. It's about policies that are coming out of Washington, D.C. that are not working for rural America. Whether, like you said, whether it's health care or whether it's production ag, it just is not working. And they've got to change these policies, and Congress needs to help on this to make these policies work for this country, because right now they're taking this country to third world status. And that's not alarmist. That's just a fact. And all your previous guests talked about that in an indirect way. So the policies have to change if we're going to have a middle class left in this country, and if we're going to maintain our position, which I question whether we even have it today, is the strongest economy and the strongest military in the world.
Then if you were running this Democrats across the board, because like that 50-year-old farmer you're talking about, he didn't vote for Joe Biden. Convert that voter now, because we watched farmers get killed by tariffs in Trump's first term, have to get a big farm aid package, and then they turned around and voted for him again. So either that's a huge compliment to Donald Trump or a huge knock on Democrats not seizing that opportunity.
Well, I think it's more of a huge knock on Democrats not seizing the opportunity. And I think the fact is Democrats can't say we're going to do better than those guys. They're a miserable failure. What they need to do is they need to come up with policies to reduce costs, policies for health care, policies for housing, and quite honestly, policies for businesses, because businesses are getting put under all across this country. And I think if they come out with, you know, 3 policies, for example, and say, if we get elected and put in office, this is what we're going to do to reduce costs or make health care more affordable, you know, I think that the bottom line is that they'll do very well in this election. I think they're going to do well anyway. But if you want to hold those majorities, we have an opportunity here to do some real positive things for America that hasn't been done in the last year and a half. In fact, negative things have been done in the last year and a half. And I think a lot of the voters out there are having buyer's remorse, but Democrats have to give them a reason to vote for them. And that's really the bottom line.